Welcome to this series of economics. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you the basics of economics. So let's understand what is economics. So economics is a science. It is not a natural science like the chemistry, physics or biology. It is a social science. So social sciences are connected with the study of people in the society. So in the social sciences like the economy or any other social science, we actually study the people in the society. So therefore, it is not possible to conduct experiments in laboratory in any social science. So economics is the study of how we the people engage ourselves in production, distribution and consumption of goods and services in a society. So in economics we study that how the people engage themselves in the production of goods and services in a society, then the distribution of goods and services in a society, then the consumption of goods and services in a society. So the another definition of economics is it is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So if we talk about human behavior, economics recognize the human behavior play a central role in economic decision making. And if we talk about the ends and scarce means, so ends are actually the goals and the scarce mean is actually the limited resources, because the resources are actually limited to available in any economy. For example, land, so we cannot increase the size of land, so land remains limited in any case. So which have alternative uses, there are alternative option of use. So there is a normative economics and positive economics. So what is actually the normative economics? So it is the branch of economics that involve making value judgment about what the economy should be like, or what specific policy actions should be taken to achieve desirable goal. So it is actually about the recommendations. So therefore normative economics is also known as the statement of opinion, because it is about the opinion, recommendation, and which cannot be proved or disproved. We cannot actually prove or disprove the normative economic statement like the unemployment should be reduced, so we cannot prove it or disprove it. So normative economic discusses what ought to be, what should be. So the next is the positive economics. So as compared to normative economics, positive economics is about actually the analysis of fact and behavior in an economy or the way things are. So the positive statement can be proved or disproved. We can prove it or we can disprove it, like the unemployment is increasing in our economy. So positive economics actually the focus on the objective analysis of economic facts and behavior, and the aim is to describe the way things are in the economy. It deals with a statement that can be empirically tested and potentially proven or disproven based on available evidence. So next is the factors of production. These are factors which makes the production process possible. So these are used as input in the production process. So the first one is the land. Land includes land which is used for agriculture or industrial purposes, as well as natural resources taken from above or below the soil. So land refers to the natural resources available on earth's surface and beneath it. It does not only include the physical land itself, but also everything that is extracted from it or produced on it. The next is the capital. It represents the durable producer goods which are used in the production process to create other goods, like the machines and plants. You know that machines or plants are used to create the other goods. The next is the labor. Labor is actually the main power, the human effort which is used in the process of production. The human effort can be physical or mental. The next is the entrepreneurship. So it involves the managerial abilities that a person brings to the organization. Entrepreneur can be owner or firm manager of the firm. So entrepreneurship involves the process of identifying opportunities, organizing resources, and assuming the risk associated with starting, managing, and growing a business or venture. The next is the scarcity. So it does not mean that a good is rare, not available, but the society has unlimited wants. In any society, the wants of the people are unlimited, but the resources are limited, as I earlier told that land, if we take the example of land is limited, we cannot increase it. So land or any other resources are actually limited. We can increase some resources but cannot increase unlimited. So the next is the rationing. So it is a process by which actually they limit the supply or the amount of some economic factor which is scarcely available. So it describes the concept of rationing. So it which is the process of limiting the supply or amount of a scarce economic factor. Rationing occurs when there is inefficient supply to meet the demand for a particular good or services. Now the next is the circular flow of goods and income. There are two sectors in circular flow of goods and services. One sector is the household sector, the other sector is the business sector, which include firms. So there is a demand of goods and services from household, and firm supply those goods and services because firm produce those goods and services, and there is an exchange in an economy. In monetary economy, which is actually about the money economy, where money is used as a currency, so firm exchange goods and services for money. Firm supply goods and service and they charge money. And firm demand factors of production. There is also demand for firm, and that is the factors of production, and household supply those factors of production for firm. So firm pay the payment in terms of wages or the rent. So this is the circular flow of goods and services. There is a demand of factors of production from firm side, and there is a demand of goods and services from household side. Firm pay for factors of production in terms of rent or wages, and household pay for goods and services. So now the microeconomics versus macroeconomics. These two are the major branches of economics. So what actually the microeconomics? So it is the branch of economics which studies actually the part of economy, not about the whole economy. We do not study about whole economy in microeconomics, but it study about the parts of economy, like the markets, prices, industries, demand and supply. So if we compare it to the macroeconomics, microeconomics is an economic tree, while the macroeconomics is the entire economic forest. So it is studies how individuals, household and firm make decision to allocate limited resources, because the resources are limited, as I earlier told. The in any economy the resources are limited, so they make decision to allocate limited resources, typically in market where goods or services are being bought and sold. So the macroeconomics, it studies the entire economy, the whole economy, not about the parts or the fraction of economy, but about the entire economy, and the topics as the aggregate production, unemployment of whole economy, inflation of whole economy and the business cycle. And if we compare it with the microeconomic, it can be taught as the study of economic forest. So it is economic forest as compared to microeconomic. So this was today's tutorial. If you have any question, you can ask in comment, and subscribe for complete economic series. Thanks for watching this video.